talking about building hot rods here. Not talking about sugarcoating. We're talking about everything. Knuckle busting. The rust in your fucking eyes. We're talking about building fucking hot rods. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to It's All About the Build podcast. Episode 13, and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Belated.
Yeah, we took some time off. We took some time off from the podcast. We took some time off from Facebook. We took some time off from the shop. Some of it was
Forced upon?
Yeah, forced upon. I got sick. And it went to shit. Couldn't do anything.
I was working out in the shop all alone.
Yep. But he made it. It was all right.
Not even Laramie came out to see me.
No.
I don't think she was even out there.
Yep. Without further ado, Laramie is in the office with us.
In the house.
Literally. The shop rat is moving on up in this world.
She's got it all made out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure the other two are pretty jealous that she gets to go outside.
They're probably happy when she goes the fuck outside.
That's true.
But if you don't know who the shop rat is, check out our Facebook page, go to our YouTube page, watch a couple videos, and you'll be introduced to Laramie, the shop rat. But
Laramie, Dodge Ram, Slack.
That's right. So I got sick, and I literally was sick for like 3 weeks, and it was one of them sicknesses that you weren't allowed to go around people. So we
never heard of it.
Yeah. Never heard of it. So after the sickness came the holidays. My wife had off work, so I took off work. We had planned to just spend time together, so that's what we did. Randy left the country and went to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So now we're back. Now we're getting back to the swing of things.
We're back to the grind, as they say.
Yep. We have a new build in the shop. It's 49 Diamond T. Randy can tell you a little bit about that. We introduced a little bit of it on our last episode, I believe, but we didn't get too much into detail.
Yeah, 49 Diamond T cab with a handmade chassis. It has a early 70s subframe.
Is it a Camaro 2?
What? That's a Mustang. You mean a Mustang 2? But no, it's not a Mustang 2. It's a Camaro. It's whatever year it is. It's Camaro's front subframe.
Right. Well, I mean, second gen Camaro front.
Is the second gen? Yeah, second gen.
Yeah.
So the 70s.
Right.
But then it has a boxed frame for the rest of it. The rest of it was handmade, and the subframe was welded in. And then it has some big ass Mickey Thompsons on the back.
They got to be like 18 inches wide.
Yeah, they're the same. In my head, I know what the size is. I just can't. It's just not coming out right.
They're
now,
monsters.
So they're big, but and then they have some drag wheels, drag style wheels on there. But it has a 427 big block Chevy with a high rise tunnel ram intake with two Phytech throttle bodies, and he has a handmade hood to go along with it that actually opens up like a big rig.
Yeah.
It opens up, it reverse opens. He was a truck driver. He owned a trucking business for a while.
Yeah. Well, he drove for himself.
He drove for himself.
Yeah, he drove for himself. I don't
Yep.
know if he owned a business or not, but I know he drove for himself, he said.
Well, I guess that's just kind of the way I was looking at it. He was just his own boss.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. He was his own business.
I don't remember what he said it was called. Yeah, but so we're just finishing up for him. We're going to attempt to do a startup this week. If everything goes well, the next 2 days, and then after that, we're just going to finish the truck. We got to do the flooring and install the seats, and he has bomber seats in there. So it's a real. I wouldn't say it's a rat rod, but it's a
high class rat rod.
High class rat rod. Yeah, it's It's
a finished hot rod. I mean, it's
a finished. It's a hot rod.
It's a fucking hot rod.
It's a bare bones hot rod.
Yeah,
that's what I guess I could it would call it there. But
right, it's on air ride.
Yeah,
it's slammed.
Mm-hmm.
Got a
4-inch exhaust.
Yeah.
Crazy. I can't wait to hear this thing. It's going to sound incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. Now, those that aren't familiar with Phytech, he's talking electronic fuel injection doubles. So it's pretty, it's fucking awesome looking. Just the visuals of it is pretty
wild.
Insane.
We have AN lines going up to it, which he started, but we did the connections up to the throttle bodies, and just mounted the fuel pump and everything. And he's going to have a sweet looking hood scoop coming out of the center of the hood.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how the trunk's going to turn out, because he's got some handcrafted, crazy trunk on the back.
Looks like a coffin.
Yeah, if you go to our Facebook page or Instagram page or TikTok or whatever, there's a video of it. There's videos and pictures of it. And we haven't done an introductory video of it yet, but that's coming. That's coming this Friday. Actually, we dropped it off. Dropped it off. We brought it here.
We brought it here. We did that video, but we haven't done like an update per se, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the air ride tanks is in the trunk area with 2 compressors, and we'll be doing some. I think we're gonna try to do some hard lines to make it like cool looking in there, so it's not too cluttered looking.
It's gonna be clean and
clean, yeah. The battery's back there. The wiring is gonna go under the dash. I made a mounting plate and then mounted the MSD box, and it's got a starter saver, and the fuse box is going to be under the dash. It's going and the coil's under there too. It's going to be all nice and tidy. You won't see all that up under the hood. It's going to be nice and clean under the hood. And the fuel lines actually will go back. So the hood comes down on the side. So when you're looking at it from the side with the hood down, you won't see too much clutter where the actual tunnel, the intake is going to be.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be on the firewall as far as the lines going down in the back and everything, and the wiring. But I think it'll be pretty cool looking.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more than what his vision. He brought it to us for a reason, and we're going to put the I.B.F.HotRods touch on it, and it's going to be fucking awesome.
Oh, something that he did, which is going to be pretty cool, but we're going to mount it for him, is he's going to have a air horn.
Yeah, he's going to have the triple air horn, I believe.
But it won't be on top of the hood or anything like that. Like, in your face, it's going to be hidden away, and then
when you open the trunk, I mean, there's not much to this car, but we're going to do it subtly that when you open the trunk, you're going to see it's going to be a showpiece, and it's not a showpiece per se as far as like fucking jewelry box.
It's not a show car.
It's not a show car by any means, but it's definitely
it's an eye grabber.
It's a fucking head turner.
Oh yeah.
We were driving. We literally picked it up, and we barely got half a mile down the road, and we came up to a stop sign, and this fucking guy's coming down the highway, and he rolls the window down. They're running 70 mile an hour. The guy in the back rolls the window down, and he's
like hanging halfway out the window.
Yeah, halfway out the window. Hell yeah, brother! So that's the new saying for 2024. Hell yeah, brother! Hulk Hogan is in the house. But yeah, it was. It's definitely a head turner. It wasn't too difficult to drive that thing from Fort Wayne down here to Huntington. It was a nice drive, and
barely even knew it was back there. So
thumbs up out to thumbs up, all that good stuff. So, but today's episode, now that we've got through the updates for everybody, and 65 still in there, the Riviera, 67.
Well, we didn't get much work done.
C10. Yeah, but I mean, we haven't talked about it. But I mean, if you go, we're going to have an update video coming up. So stay tuned for all that shit. But just in case you guys were curious. So today, we got a good fucking episode. We did some research for this episode. While we were off and I was sick, I was messaging people on Facebook out of the blue, because that's what you do.
Soliciting?
Yeah, right. So this episode, our topic today is going to be about the pricing of vehicles.
Oh, wait a minute. We didn't cheers.
Oh, fuck. What are we doing? Happy New Year.
Well, this is take
Merry
2.
Christmas. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is take 2. We spent 15 minutes on the last one, and
I was on mute.
Randy was on mute. So,
Let me just check. Okay, I'm good.
yep. Yep. Me. Anyways.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're going to be topic today is pricing of the vehicles. And when I mean pricing of vehicles, I mean the price tags that you guys are putting on these fucking cars. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that you have a ran when parked vehicle that is 95 fucking years old, and you want $27,000 for it. And a fully restored one will bring $28,000.
Yeah.
And it's been sitting in a fence row for, 80 years. This is what we're talking about, and these are the people that I reached out to.
And we're going to go over why that is.
We're going to find out what was the conclusion of the research? What type of research were we doing? And what did we find? What were our findings of the research? Basically, what I did.
What did you do? You called it around, or you found you looked around and found cars that were for sale that you thought were interesting or way too much money?
Basically, way too much money. And it was okay. So I was looking for shit that was just astronomical. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
This is from like the beginning of automobile time up until like the 80s, or was this?
Yeah, a lot of it was like, so basically, I'm members of a whole bunch of closed groups on Facebook. That are selling shit. So, like a lot of Model A's. I reached out to a lot of Model A's. Reached out to a lot of Model T's. I reached out to, mid 40s cars. I reached out to some 60s cars, trucks. I reached out to quite a bit of trucks just because they're hot right now. So before we get into this, I just want to tell you something that I've noticed. The people, I feel like 90% of people that buy a classic car don't fucking do anything with them.
What do you mean by that?
So I feel like the reason the prices are where they're at now is because the people that are buying them, buy them, take them home, have this glorious fucking idea, and then they sit there. And then they sit there and they watch Meekum and Barrett Jackson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they see that their car's been sitting there, so now it's fucking 10 more years older. And since it went for sale, like since they ended up having a shitty deal on it because they didn't know what the fuck they were looking for, at.
Mm-hmm.
They think that they're gonna get
me of one right off the top, right off the bat.
Yeah, but
just from hearing that,
I feel like how many I'm guilty of it. I got a fucking '58 Ford F100 that I've had toting around the fucking country with me for years.
I got one too,
right? And we built fucking hot rods.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was going to sell it, I'd be fucking reasonable about it. I think ignorance has a lot to do with what we're going to talk about. Surprise.
And it's before we even get into it, like it sucks because the people who actually want to like get their hands on this stuff and actually do some work to it and like make it their own and without even having the idea of reselling it, like it makes it so much harder for the rest of us.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, so basically, let me read off what I said to these people. It didn't matter what the price tag was. You could insert whatever price tag when we get to it. But this is basically, I did a cut and paste. Said the exact same thing to fucking everybody and seen what the fuck happened. Hello, I'm doing some research for an upcoming podcast episode. I'm reaching out to individuals like you and trying to figure out how they came to a figure on pricing their classic car or truck. Why did you price this 29 Model A body at $950 and then drop it to $750? Did you have it appraised by chance? How did you come to this price point? So basically, just take out the 29 body and insert whatever fucking vehicle I was looking at that point in time and insert the price. Like this one, the only reason I pulled this one up is because it was the first one on my fucking phone.
Right.
But this guy in particular was selling a Model A body that's all it is. It's just a body. No fenders, no nothing. It was $950. And even at $950, I thought it was fucking overpriced because this is what it says. Model A body, 1929, no motor, no frame, no doors. Just what is pictured is what is available. And if you look at it, basically the only thing that's left from this two-door is the ass end, and where the door would be at, it's fucking bowed in and bent and jacked off, basically.
You see this? Holy shit.
Yeah. So it's completely, like, it's fucking falling apart. Here you go. Look at that.
Wow. I could think of so many better things to buy.
Right.
For $750.
Right. The reason I messaged him was because
that's
when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's not a bad price at all. I'm going to message this guy. And then, see, look at that.
oh my God.
Like, it's fucking, it's rusted out, but where the top comes across and where the doors would be at, there's no more structure
see that
there.
again?
So he just fucking, like, he dropped the damn thing, and it's fucking bent. It's got like a V in the son of a bitch now.
Oh.
Yeah. This would be good if we had a video for this podcast today.
Yeah, it's not even like...
I mean, I'd pay, okay, I bet, what would you pay for some? I mean, before you were on mute for so long, we were talking about a $250 car. Like, that's $250.
That's, yeah, $250, $300 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
It's fucking horrible. But anyways, here, give it back.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Randy never seen this one. I must not have sent this one to him because I was sending him shit over the holiday.
Yeah.
I was sending him random shit and screenshots of these conversations that I was having with these guys because I actually reached out to a couple people, and the one guy literally said, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
He was done with it.
Mm-hmm.
He was done with the conversation. I spoke to people that supposedly bought and sold 200 cars in their day. I've talked to people that own restoration shops, so they know what the fuck they're doing. But ironically, the last 4 years of their life, they were doing construction. So that makes sense. And I spoke with pawn shops. I spoke with a guy who owns a fucking pawn shop down in Indy. And, you know, I got all this information. And then I actually talked to a guy who he had a 31 Chevy that I think it was 31 Chevy that he had for like $10,000, right? And the thing about these late 20s, early 30s cars, unless it's like a Deuce, like a Roadster Deuce, that's like all original, or not even all original, but fucking done.
Well, they're rare cars.
Yeah, they're rare.
Yeah.
Other than that, the price that you can get for a fully restored car is 25 to 30 grand. 35 if you're fucking lucky.
Yeah, unless it's a full-blown resto mod. Yeah. You could buy a car for that.
Yeah.
A restored car.
Right. Yeah, fully restored.
Yeah.
Like running, driving, fully fucking restored Model A that you can fucking enjoy right now for 30 grand. We're talking the fucking highest. I mean, I don't think it could get much farther. I'm no fucking professional or anything, but that's just what the fuck it is. 35 maybe. And that's if it's like super duper perfection. It doesn't have like a 1919 rear end under it.
Yeah.
A fucking banjo rear end or whatever the fuck it is.
How is it that like a Model A that's still in restoration process? Well, I mean, how are they selling up for like
3/4 of what the fuck they can buy it for.
Yeah.
So this is why I fucking asked these people, and they all told me the same thing. They were saying that if you add up the parts, this is why I'm selling it for what it is. But you can't do that. That's basically like, okay, if I'm going to sell, let's say I'm going to sell my 58 F100 that's sitting out back, that's been sitting there.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay, what's the rear end going for? Okay, there's disc brakes all the way around.
You might as well just part it out.
But that's what the fuck I'm saying. Like, you can't part out a truck whole. You can't part out a car whole.
No, that's not how the
fucking world works.
Automotive. Well, that's not how any of that works. It's not how you're not going to buy a house, pick each piece apart and then put a price on it.
Right. But this was multiple answers. I probably talked to fucking 20 people about this shit. And this was a higher, like, I didn't fucking write it down and make a spreadsheet, but this was a repetitive answer. Even for, okay, I talked to a guy because trucks are fucking hot. So I reached out to some C10s and shit that were just the price tags. We're talking up into $30,000. And it's a early 80s square body. The guy said it was a 5-footer, which I've never fucking heard before. Yeah, you all heard 20-footer. Well, they got 5-footer paint jobs nowadays. And the funny thing is, this 5-foot paint job, you know how in the 80s they started putting tape pinstripes on from the factory?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It was still on there, but it was like fucking gone. It was on there, but gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's so old that it's deteriorating, so there's a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the edge lines are still there from the adhesive.
Right.
That was all over it. And he's saying it's a 5-footer, and it had, so the rims that were on it, I'm saying they're rims because they came off of a fucking, looked like a mid-2000 Chevy Silverado is what it looked like. So it was just a 5-spoke star. And he had the drum brakes in the back. Underneath was bone stock. You popped the fucking hood, and you had that big, gaudy fucking red battery cable that come floating across the whole fucking engine bay.
Oh.
And, you had the, it was just a 350. I'm assuming it was a 350.
What do you want for that?
Like $34,000.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but the only thing that was half decent on it, so he got a new interior. Looked like a TMI interior.
Okay.
And he wanted that much fucking money for it. But the engine bay was junk. He didn't even clean it up for the pictures. You can't, if you're going to sell something for fucking over 10 grand, you better clean the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He was basically saying that, the interior was immaculate. It was a 5-footer, which I've never, like I said, I never even fucking heard of a 5-footer. But it had the bone stock gauges in the son of a bitch. It had a god-awful, the 80s Chevy C10s, or square bodies, whatever you want to call them, they fucking look like shit. The Silverados, that squared off, nasty gauge cluster that they had. That's probably the worst fucking gauge cluster outside of being in like a 1942 helicopter. That's what it reminds me of. Back to, you can't say that because it's priced like that. Like, you can't, I'm going to add everything up and then it's going to be, this is it. You can't do that.
That's not fair market value.
No, it's not. But you know what? The one thing that everybody had in common, everybody I talked to, none of them got it appraised. Not a single person got theirs appraised.
Well, everybody's an appraiser.
Right. So I talked to a guy and this guy told me, build one and you'll figure it out. That's what he told me, which made me laugh because he clearly didn't go to my profile and see who the fuck just messaged him out of the blue. Because I'm no detective, but if somebody messages me out of the blue, or if I'm selling something on Marketplace, first thing I do is check to see if they're a real human being.
Oh, yeah. I do that just browsing through Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. And I go on there, actual page and to see what else are they selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they joined, was it 2023?
It was fucking 25 minutes ago.
Yeah. Is it like, and then you get those some of those they show a really nice like OBS, but they're like really immaculate looking, and then they're like selling for $1,000.
Right.
And you click on their seller page, and it's just like they have the same 1,000 posts of the same thing. You ever see those?
Yeah. Well, I saw one where it was like selling it today's price.
Yeah.
Got to get rid of it. The thing about the appraisal, now, if I was selling something that I thought was fucking worth some money, then I'd probably get it appraised. Unless I had with us doing it ourselves, I guess I would fall into the fucking that category of what you just said. Everybody's an appraiser.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there's a difference between somebody who has realistic expectations and somebody who's just selling a product and just trying to make as much money as possible because of what they think they have,
right,
based off of what they've seen on the internet.
Right.
I just think it's very skewed.
And I don't want to hear the fucking everything's expensive now. I don't want to hear that fucking shit.
Well, everything's expensive because we let it be expensive, and like I said earlier, like it kills it for the hot rod scene.
Yeah,
it's really killing it for us because this hot rod. What's the word I'm looking for? This hot rod
industry,
classic car industry,
world,
and world. It's blown so far out of proportion that it's like us little guys, like they much harder for us to afford that kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, you know what the fucking stupid, okay, if we're talking about prices and shit, we're going to go off, we're going to hang a fucking right here. And so we deal with Summit, and there's fucking A-Tech. And it's like, you get prices, like if you don't know what A-Tech is, it's for businesses. They give a discount. And it's no different than Summit because it's the same fucking company.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they call it A-Tech. I'm not sure why that is.
I don't give a shit why. The thing that blows my, like, if I owned a business, I do own a fucking business.
Yeah. Right.
We do this to help people. Like, yeah, we're making money, but we're not fucking $150 an hour.
No, seriously, we're literally, I mean, if you want to go ahead and say it, I'm pretty sure we've said it at some point.
Well, I mean, who knows what next week's going to hold?
Yeah,
we're going to raise the rates.
We're only a growing business, but
right.
we're not charging an arm and a leg right now.
No, not at all. You want to know what the fuck we charge? Call me.
Yeah.
Because I know you're serious. But we don't, like, I shouldn't have to sign up for something to get a discount to turn around and sell it to somebody for more money. Like, when I get a part for somebody, I just fucking give it to them for what I bought. If I'm going to charge them anything, it's the hourly rate for what it took to get the parts, or it's a fucking tiny ass percentage. It ain't like the dealership where it's 50% markup and shit like that.
That's crazy.
But if you're pricing a fucking truck, now we're coming back. We're hanging a left. We're coming back into town. We're coming back to the topic. But you can't, like some people said that, oh, well, I have $20,000 in work done. Well, that's, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not paying for your $20,000 worth of fucking shit, and it's a half-built truck or a half-built car.
I don't know how well that was work that was done.
95% of the time, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
People take my shit apart later on down the line. They'll be like, what the fuck was this guy doing? You know what I mean? It's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's not how I can't believe that many people act like collectively without even talking to each other. That's just how their mindset works.
And that's why I did the research before we did this. Mainly for, we could sit here and come up with the same conclusion, but I thought it'd be interesting to just, ruffle up some feathers, because my wife Melanie was like, I can't believe people are even responding to you. It fucking pissed me off.
I'm actually surprised they did too.
Well, there was
everybody's out just for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, well, people were offended by it, obviously, but Let's face it.
But
If somebody asks you why you priced your truck or your car that way, and you instantly get offended, chances are you're fucking screwing somebody.
Yeah.
And so back to I was talking to a guy on a 31 Chevy, okay? And before I messaged the guy, he wanted $12,000 for this 31 Chevy. Granted, it was all original. Didn't have it didn't have the glass in it, and it was missing some shit on the interior, right? As far as knobs and shit like that.
Right.
Well, it was in a barn forever, whatever. You're looking at all the pictures. Yeah, you could leave it all original, but let's face it, people. If you're going to sit in a fucking car that's been sitting in a garage for how many years, it's going to have mold, bird shit, dog shit, cat shit, rat piss, rat shit. It's going to have disease in the fucking thing. So the first thing you have to do is rip everything out. That's the first thing you got to do. And you got to replace it, man. And I know at least a few years ago, you could get an entire Model T interior, at least the wrapping, for like $1,500, $2,500, something like that. That's probably a hell of a lot more pricier now. But right off the bat, you're looking at $2,500, you know? And if you got a $12,000 Chevy, 31 Chevy, because that's who I messaged, the most priciest Chevy that I could find that was that thing that was online right now was $31,000. And they all averaged a little over 20 and the high teens. And this guy wanted 12 grand and it needed a full restoration. I messaged the guy and I said, why are you doing it like this? I was actually intrigued by it. I was actually like, I might, tax return or whatever, look good sitting outside the shop.
Yeah.
And now if I was to get this, I would restore it because it would be fucking awesome. When I did that 25 Model T, it was the coolest thing in the world. All original from Alaska. This thing was kind of the same.
It's too original to like chop up and make a hot rod.
I mean, it would be a perfect specimen because it's fucking all original, but it wouldn't be worth it to me.
I don't like it when people take a mostly complete car and just chop it completely up and make it either a rat rod or a full blown hot rod, like changing everything and making everything.
You can buy a body for that.
I know. It's a huge pet peeve of mine when I see shops or anybody completely dismantle a close to complete vehicle, right? Especially being that old.
Yeah,
the original ones are getting harder and harder to find. It's still all there for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, that car you're talking about is not completely there, but it's
95% there.
It's 95% there. It's just still old.
And the only reason I know is 95% there is because he had enough pictures on there to be like, yeah, that looks original. And the pictures I looked at online, it's like, yeah, it's all original. Like,
yeah,
that's the right rear end, at least the right time frame. Those are the right wheels. Those are the right fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But I messaged the guy, and since I was intrigued by it, I explained to him that you realize that this vehicle wouldn't fetch anything over low 20s if it was fully restored. 30s, low 30s.
Depends on how nice it is.
The thing of it is, I told him, I was like, look, you got to tear everything apart because you can't even drive it. Like, yeah, it cranks over or turns over or whatever.
I mean, you could pull a vice grip garage and get it started and run it 400 miles down the road and then break down.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, if you think that when you watch Meekum, because you have that car in your back fucking yard rotten, sitting there for years, if you think that it's worth a quarter of that price, you're a fucking asshole. Because it's not running, it's not driving, you've neglected it for years, and in order to get it to what that is at Meekum or Barrett-Jackson, which isn't really saying much because I've worked on a lot of vehicles that are at these fucking auctions and they're fucking junk.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking thrown together and sent down the road. Well, sent to Meekum,
right,
and sold, and then it's just a complete cluster.
New owner's problem.
Yes, exactly. That being said, just because there was two drunk guys in the room that really wanted that car that day doesn't mean that that's what the fuck they're worth.
Yeah. No shit.
Like, just because that goes for that doesn't mean that's where the fuck it's supposed to be at.
It's a TV show.
Yeah. And we do this for a living. We know that we can't even give you a fucking figure on how much it's going to cost because we know how much questions are inside that. How much rust and just the sheer amount of work and labor hours it takes to build something to get it to that point. That's what I'm talking about. You can't sell something that needs work, period, for top dollar. Whatever top dollar it is in your fucking mind.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to get top dollar for what you're selling. It's just the
Stop killing the fucking industry.
Yeah, the difference between top dollar and reality.
You can't get $15,000 for a car that can only bring 35 and it needs a full restoration.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it has to be a full restoration, then I should only pay maybe, realistically, if it needs a full restoration, I should be paying about 5 to 10% of the fucking price. So if it's $100,000, I'll give you $5,000. You know what I mean? If you're going to sit here and tell me that I need to pay for work that you put into it or parts that you put into it that you ain't even using, that I don't even know if are the right parts, it's a shit show.
Am I supposed to trust you?
Yeah. Am I supposed to trust you? No. You know, we bought brand new vehicles here. We changed oil first day.
Seriously.
Like some of the reactions and stuff from these people were hilarious, which I thought was part of the fun of randomly messaging people.
Oh, I bet.
The one that really got me was the one guy who told me to build one and I'll figure out why he priced it at that.
Which one was that?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't think it's...
Was that the Phaeton dude?
Yeah, the 32 Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted... So this thing wasn't even half done. It's not even up anymore. No longer available. I just got that one picture of it. But I gave him that spiel and he said, thanks, but no thanks. So he fucking, whatever. I messaged him again and this is the guy who said about typically prices involve the amount of investment in parts along with fair market value and replacement costs. So just because you went out and bought a bunch of parts for this and you never used them doesn't mean I got to pay full price for your parts.
No, because they're used.
Yeah, technically. But I don't even know if they're the right fucking parts, And that's just like we go back to where they said about pricing out everything. Like somebody, like if I was to do the 58, it's got the large rear window, the wraparound back window. Mm-hmm. The whole reason why I bought that fucking truck.
Yeah.
I mean, I never priced out that fucking...
that window's got to be expensive.
That's what I'm saying. So the door handles are a couple $100, and between the glass that's around it, it's probably thousands of dollars right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then if you want to start pricing fenders and shit, you know what I mean? Like, that truck's $50,000. You know what I mean?
If anybody's looking to buy it, $50,000, take it off my hands.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, I put up my Studebaker for sale a while back, and I mean, I did try to price out some of my parts but I still had them up for sale for pretty cheap. Yeah. Being a 28 Studebaker body, I feel like that was pretty rare. Right. It is rare, but I did buy some parts for it, like a drop axle and basically everything to put that thing together, make it a roller, basically, like all the drivetrain stuff and all that, the engine, rear end, suspension. I mean, I didn't go, categorizing all my parts and then put the sticker price on each of it and add it all up and then sell it for that price. You know what I mean? But right. I I feel like I priced it pretty fairly for what the body was and what all the parts were.
Yeah.
But I didn't go adding all my parts up and be like, okay, this is what the car costs.
I think a lot of it has to do with just the market itself. I mean, we're going to go back to that. Now, when I was doing
I was going to lose money on that at the price I was selling it for.
Yeah.
I even had guys telling me, you're selling it too cheap.
Right.
I was like, I know this, but, it's still a...
I feel like that comes back around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to come back around to you.
Right.
That's how the universe works.
Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. We bought 2 fucking brand new chairs for this room. and today we're sitting in
lawn chairs
because I didn't like them and I sold them. And I could have sold them for what I bought and added $25, but I took a hit on the damn thing. Brand fucking
we
new.
even deliver it in the house for the little old lady.
And I told her I wasn't fucking. I ain't coming in your house. I ain't dropping shit off. That was an escapade. Let's just tell that story real quick.
Yeah.
We fucking sold these fucking chairs. So I wanted $400 for these chairs. I paid fucking $470 or something stupid for them to get delivered here. We put them the fuck together, and I put $400 on them. Get rid of them. I didn't like them because they didn't match. They didn't fit the way I wanted them to.
Well, they were supposed to be our podcast chairs, but
they were nice chairs.
They were nice chairs. They were comfy.
I didn't like them
comfy.
I didn't like the color of them in the room. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, put them up for sale, and of course everybody's like, "I'll give you $300." That's another thing. Like, if you're gonna sell it, put in the headline, or not the headline, but the description. This is what I like to put. This is a tip of the day. You ready? If you want $400 for 2 chairs, at the end of your fucking ad, put, if you don't think this is worth $400, these chairs aren't for you. And guess what? You will fucking sell anything for the price you're asking. And you won't have any haggling. It's amazing. But anyways, that's what I fucking told her. I said, look, I'm already losing money. Because she was like, I'll give you $400 and you deliver them to me. No. How about you give me $425 and I'll deliver them? So I actually gained an extra $25 selling this little old lady. So we took them there.
We had to drive. How long was that?
It was a fucking 35-minute drive in the rain. Just showed up.
Yes.
So we get there, and this little old lady messages me, where are you at? I'm 10 minutes out. Be there in 10 minutes. She said, okay. We get there. All the lights are out. And I go up and I knock on the door. Nothing. And the house almost looks like maybe, is it abandoned? And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Because we started heading that way and it started misting.
It was cold. I hopped back in the truck.
Yeah, it was misting. What the fuck? So we end up.
Call me when it's over.
Yeah. So it's like, you gotta be shitting me. I knocked on the door. I got on my phone because if you're not friends on Facebook, you can't call them. Because you can call through Facebook Messenger, but you can't if you don't know them, which is probably good. But I couldn't call her, even though I was having a conversation with her. I just talked to her 10 minutes ago, and I said we we're going to be there. Well, it turns out she fell asleep because I went back up there and I fucking rapped on the door like I was the cops. Because I was pissed. We were fucking there 15, 20 minutes because I messaged her 5-6 times.
Yeah, we were there a while.
Yeah. Anyways, we got rid of the fucking chairs. Ended up carrying them in for her. And shit was everywhere.
Yeah,
shit was everywhere. She's like, I'm getting the floors redone. Well, you better move this shit. If you're getting the floors redone. Like, okay, I would have accepted that excuse. But in order to accumulate this much shit from another room, I just don't believe it. But anyways, we were in, we were out, Then we had to go move more furniture. Fucking sweet.
Oh,
shout out to Pete.
She forgot to.
Shout out to
where
Pete.
She put the money.
Oh yeah, she forgot where she put her money. So I carried the fucking chair up to her. Well, first of all, when she finally opened the door, She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were fucking shafting me, lady. And she fucking looks at me with this hairy eyeball. What the fuck? So we go back and get these chairs and carry them up. And she's like, we're carrying them inside the house. And I dropped my end and I said, look, lady, I had a cop shaft me $20 once. Fucking state trooper shaft me $20 is something that I actually handmade. And, you know, kiss my ass. I said, I'm not carrying this any farther until I get my money.
Today.
Not today. You're messing with the wrong SOB. So she went to find her money. She couldn't find her money. So she goes out to her car, comes back in, passes us all.
She got like three like big, not big, but like tall dudes with beards, like just standing around.
Yeah,
for two little chairs.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit!
Yeah, because we had our buddy Pete along. Shout out to Pete. Thanks for helping out and having us move more furniture after we moved furniture. You know, so sold them. So we're getting yeah. I don't know where we were going with that.
That was just a story time.
Yeah, story time.
For a Facebook Marketplace story.
Yeah. How to sell shit the way you want, like for what you're asking. So basically, this episode in review, basically the key takeaways and the keynotes that I gathered from the research was, people are idiots. Not saying you listeners are idiots. I'm just saying, you can find a deal out there, right? And
it really is like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Especially if you know what you want.
Yeah.
If you know what you want, you know what you're looking for, it's really hard.
Yeah.
People are making it really difficult for people who are, I mean, especially for the people who are just starting in, like getting into it, like they're like 16, 17 years old, and they want to start, they want their first hot rod or first project, and they look at Marketplace and they're like, man, I wouldn't be able to afford that in like 5 years working, and by that time they're out paying for their own apartment and their own car payment, and then before you know it, 10 years goes by and they're like, man, I wish I never bought that. I never bought that car I wanted,
right?
Or or the project I wanted in it.
The key takeaways, like I said, people are morons.
Oh yeah, the idiots. Yep.
People
Not
are
you
morons.
listeners. Not you listeners.
Yeah, maybe like 10% of you, but the 10% we're talking about,
only if you give us a hard time.
Yeah, the 10% that we're talking about isn't you; it's the other listeners.
If you feel guilty about selling something,
then maybe you are. Maybe you are the 10% we're talking about. But you don't have to be a jive ass turkey about selling shit. If you want to change the classic car industry, if you want these prices to go down, just refuse to buy the fucking stuff, and it will have to come down.
Yeah, only could hope.
But the thing of it is, if you're gonna buy something, and you're gonna pay, whatever, if you want to call it top dollar, if you're going to buy it, do something with it. That's the problem. Like,
these are
somebody buys this fucking car, and then it sits in his driveway for how many years, and then they sell it to this guy. And then that guy buys it, and then he sells it to that guy.
And the price increased by 40%.
Right, every time. Next thing you know, Model A is worth $40,000 to buy that's rusted, and it can't bring 25 at auction. So, anyways, that's the episode for the new year here. Thought it would be a fun little episode.
It was fun.
Yeah, probably would have been better with the first 15 minutes without Randy on mute.
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know. But yeah, appreciate you guys listening. This year, 2024.
Oh, speaking of 2024, what's your resolution? Me too.
My resolution is not everybody has to be my friend.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My resolution, Thanks for asking. Is about is working on myself.
Yeah,
And me and myself.
that's a good one.
Yeah. And doing what I want to do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And but as us as a whole, we're gonna have a big year this year.
Fuck yeah. We're already starting big. We're teaming up with we'll save that until we're actually on the map with them.
We're working on something.
Yeah, we're working on something. We're trying to partner with some people. We're gonna really hump on building a brand. I.B.F.HotRods, getting it known out there. Finish up some of these builds that we have going on. Moving on to new builds. I feel good about 2024. 2023 was, it was a bunch of chaos and stuff.
A lot of growth.
Yeah, a lot of growth. I mean, every day's growth. 2024, I would like to have more clients lined up after these builds this year finalize is what I'm shooting for. And also to get our name out there a little bit more, the brand itself out there a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd like to work on the social media a little bit more.
Yep. Want to do a little, just the same shit we did in 2023, just fucking double down on it, try to anyways.
Yeah, bigger and better.
Yeah, we don't have to buy near as many fucking tools and shit anymore. But we still have to. The building is damn near done, thank God.
Yeah, we're close. I mean, there's still some things I want to spruce up as far as organization goes.
Yeah,
but we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean it's at a good spot. Basically, that's about it. 2024 is. I'm grateful for every day. I don't keep track of years like a lot of people, as far as their age goes and shit like that. I feel like if you don't keep track of it, you'll never age, because
the wise words of Elliot and Slack.
That's right. That's right.
You should write a book.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, okay. I was joking, but all right. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Well, I'm going to retire first.
Oh.
By then, who knows what we'll be allowed to put in print.
Yeah, probably nothing.
Yeah. But no, I'm going to try to get the blogs back up. We want to get some other people in here. We want to do some interviews and shit like that. So stay tuned for that.
After 13 episodes, I think we're about ready to start doing some interviews at some outside sources.
Yeah, we spoke with some people. The guy that the company that we're going to be together with, I'm hoping is going to open up that avenue big time. And we also we got some big things coming. We're trying to do some stuff in this area. If you're in Indiana at all and you're in the Huntington area, you know that there's not a lot of car shit going on. You got Roanoke and stuff like that, but
that's once a year.
There ain't no bike nights. There ain't no fucking cruise-ins, and if there is, it's just not on the home turf as far as Huntington goes. I know there's
we want to change that is what we're saying.
Yeah, we want to start doing some shit, reaching out to the mayor, But, last year, I'm grateful for all the experiences that we had. I'm grateful my wife sticks with me by my side and is my biggest motivation and my biggest support system. And I'm grateful for her, for everything that she's put up with over the last fucking year through this company and the growth of the company that's happening. We're not trying to get fucking huge. I'm not trying to have 25,000 people in here, but we just want to build cool cars, and we want to do it to our satisfaction,
Our standard.
And, you know, we want to offer something that a client has never experienced before. And, you know, that's basically what we're trying to show off. You know, we're trying to get out there. So, other than that, you know, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. 2024 is going to be badass. Stay tuned for next week's episode. This is going to come out here fucking whatever day. But I know we're a couple weeks in January. Sorry for the time off. But
Yeah, I want to apologize and thank you for being patient with us.
Yeah.
We had things going on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs to take a fiver. You know, it's good. I feel good about this episode. I feel good about getting everything squared away, getting everything fucking going again, and drinking a beer and talking into a microphone again.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna leave the closure here for Randy. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following along this year. Elliot Slack over and out. And cheers. Here's to you guys.
Yep. Cheers. Yep. I'm definitely thankful for my biggest support, which is Laramie. No, just kidding. I'm definitely thankful for my family and friends that have supported me through this last year and everything. And it's been a tough year, but half of that, it's been a great year. It's been tough, but a great year. So we're just going to continue that into 2024, and we want to thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, that's for sure. And next episode after that, just stay tuned in general, because we're doing a lot of cool stuff. We will be doing a lot of cool stuff. That's all.
I.B.F.HotRods over and out. See you guys later. Here's to you.
Cheers. Thanks for listening to this episode of It's All About the Build podcast. Please comment and let us know your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel to follow along, and if you haven't already, check out our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok to keep up with what we have going on every week. Thank you all for listening.